week. It wasn't too great last night. You know, one of the assistant coaches was kind enough to tell me right before the game the last time we've lost 2 in a row to Kentucky, and it's been like 30 years. So I was a little bit nervous before the game because nobody wants to be that guy. And, you know, I could have been put in a position where I was. But these guys came out and played tonight. I thought we played much harder, much more focused. You know, last night our chemistry wasn't quite as good as it needed to be. Our substitution patterns weren't very good. But when you've never done this before, and you know, as a head coach of an all-star situation where you're playing 13 kids and trying to get everybody in there, you tend to do that more so than focus on what you need to do with the guys that need to win the game for you. So I got caught up in a little bit of that. And tonight, we really didn't focus on that. We focused on substitution patterns being who's playing really well, let's leave them in. Who needs a rest, let's get them out. Let's substitute a big for a big, and our best big, and our best guards in for our other guards. And that's just what we did for the first 8 or 9 guys. And then, of course, we were able, because we played so well tonight, that all 13 kids got to play a considerable amount. And I thought all 13 kids contributed, but we were very happy with every minute that was played out there tonight by all 13 kids. And that didn't happen last night, and it happened tonight. And I think that's why we won tonight, and we didn't win last night. Last thing I'll say, I thought that the Kentucky kids had a chip on their shoulder last night. I think they came out to play. Like Coach said, he does such a great job. They just seemed better prepared than we were. They were ready to fight. Like he said, some of them are unheralded, and you know, our guys are committed to some major universities, and they were ready to take us down, and I didn't have our guys ready. So I felt like we were ready today, though, and that's all you can do is learn from your mistakes. I felt like I learned from mine. Didn't want to put it off on the kids. The reason why we lost last night, that goes to me. The reason why we won is I just woke them up, and once they were awake, they were the better team.
Thank you. Question for the players, and players I'll ask when they ask you. Just move the microphone in front of you so that everybody can hear. So we'll open up to questions for the players and the coach.
Romeo, what's your schedule now? When will you go down to Bloomington? And of all the things down there, what are you looking most forward to?
I get to Bloomington this Tuesday coming up, and I'm just looking forward to just getting there and working on getting better this summer.
I'd like to keep him.
For any of you guys, Coach Shannon talked about waking you up. Did you, as players, did you all talk about last night at all, and kind of what do you account the performance tonight turning around to?
Pretty much after last night, we knew exactly what we had to do. After we had our little team meeting, but we just had to come out with more energy and start on the defensive end.
Romeo, were there any keys for you tonight? I mean, obviously hit the first shot real early. Probably played into that.
Well, yeah, making my first shot, seeing the ball going, my first shot's pretty cool, but really I'm just kind of more focused, more locked in, knowing that we don't want to be the team to go to Kentucky. That's what kind of got me in as a team more focused for tonight.
Romeo, Rob, and Eric, you guys are all going to Big Ten programs. What's this week been like for you guys, just getting to play together before you compete against each other coming years?
It's been really fun. We've known each other since we were younger, playing at 8. But I know we're just going to compete with competitors, but I'm off the floor pretty good friends.
Robert, what's it been like to play alongside Romeo this week? Kind of getting a taste of the future.
It's been really fun. He's one of the best players in the nation. He can do everything. So, just like you said, a preview of kind of Indiana.
I'll tell you something about both these. You know, I brag about Ro all the time, so let me talk about these 2 guys, because Ro knows I love him. But these 2 guys all week long had great attitudes, and they gave up minutes. Like they would say, I'm okay to come out. And, they're D1 players. However many D1 players that'll come by and say, hey, it's okay for so-and-so to get some of my time. That's just the kind of people they are. And so when they asked me who I wanted to bring out, I brought them out because they're 3 of the best players on the team. They had great games, but I also brought them out because they're great people, just like Ro, and he's that way. So these kind of kids right here are the kind of kids that keep you coaching even when you're getting kind of tired. These guys are the ones that keep you going, that keep you coming back. It's like being at a golf mountain, you hit your last, in golf you're ready to quit because you're terrible. And then you go to that last hole and you get an eagle or something. Well, what do? You're ready. You're telling your wife you're going golfing again tomorrow. That's the way it is with these guys. Just when I'm, like last night, sleeping about 2 or 3 hours and watching the game over again, because that's what you do as a coach. You don't point fingers at other people, you point them right back at your face. And that's what I did last night. I said, man, I just don't know how much longer I want to do this. Now I'm ready to go another 10 years. So I kind of feel sorry for the kids back in New Albany.
Any other questions before we release the team to go get changed and head home to their families?
Coach Shannon and Aaron Henry had 8 straight points there early in the first half. I mean, how big was that for the huge run you ended up going on?
Well, again, I would have loved to play him more because I thought he played great tonight. He really did. He played fabulous. I told him at halftime, I said, man, that's the Henry I've been looking for. That's the Henry, the beast from Ben Davis. Because I've seen him play before. And I've thought all week that, I can't quite get him going. But again, it's kind of difficult to be in this situation and get your game going when you're used to playing the whole game, or pretty much the whole game. And now you're being asked to get 6 or 7 or 8 minutes and then sit down for a while. Then to go back in the game. And it's something they got to get used to because they're not going to be getting all the minutes at their schools anyway, most of them. They're going to have to earn them. And there's going to be nights where they're going to get in foul trouble or nights where somebody else is playing great because they're going to be playing with other great players. So, it's a life lesson. Everything's a life lesson. Hopefully they learned something from that this week by being around, 13 players, 11 of which have already signed college scholarship players, and they're all most of them are going D1.
For the players, what are you guys going to take away most from this whole experience?
I'll say the relationships, just being able to meet everybody off the court and just bond with them. It's really fun.
You held them to 9 for 37 in the first half. Was there anything you did differently as a team?
Yeah, we talked to the kids about playing pack line defense. Again, we only practiced a couple weeks ago. We practiced on a Saturday, and I don't think we got something done. We got some things accomplished. We wanted to break the ice, and they all got to know each other. They knew each other, but they didn't really know us. So we wanted to break the ice. Had a real good workout. Went to eat. We came back Tuesday and practiced hard for a couple hours. Wednesday we walked through and went and played the juniors. That first half didn't go very well. Second half went great. And then we went back Thursday, practiced another couple hours really hard. And then we got to play Friday, walk through and play. Not a lot of preparation time to do many different things. And again, we last night I felt like really it wouldn't have mattered what kind of defense we played if your energy's not there, you're not getting into people. But tonight we got into them, but we did help in the gaps more. And we talked about that this morning. Didn't get to practice it, but it was really effective. And Coach Radiker had talked to me about that last night. He said maybe we should just play pack line with these kids because I think we underestimated Kentucky's talent because they don't have the heralded D1 signees. But a lot of kids that go JUCO could play D1. They're just going to junior college for various reasons. But he's got a couple more kids on there that can definitely play Division I basketball and will be soon. I thought we underestimated their athleticism, and so tonight we did not. And the kids just played good tonight. They played so much harder, and they were focused. And again, it's not on the kids last night. That's on me. But we were ready tonight.
1 or 2 more questions.
Jim, you remember when the Indiana-Kentucky All-Star Series was a really, really big deal. Yeah. Does it still matter? I mean, we had a good crowd tonight, but why, if it does still matter, why?
Well, it matters to me because I grew up in this era of 60s, 70s, 80s basketball when that was about the only thing to do, right? We all went to basketball games on the weekends. We didn't have computers, we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have all that other stuff. We had basketball in Indiana. That's all we had. We didn't have class basketball either. We had basketball, and that's all we did. And so yeah, I can remember, I mean, goodness sakes alive, all the greats that ever played. And so the oral tradition should be that we pass it on to the kids and try to get them to understand, hey, we haven't lost 2 in a row in a series to Kentucky for 30 years. I didn't tell the guys that. I felt enough pressure for me knowing it. And I doubt that they knew that. But it is important that we understand the significance of the Indiana-Kentucky series and all the great people that have come before these kids. Charlie Hall does a great job running this thing for us, and he put together a video. You saw some of it tonight. He put it together for the kids and the families when they came in. And, you know, someday that's going to be these kids, and they never understand that right now, and it's okay. We didn't get it when we were 18 either. But when they're 28, 38, and 48, I guarantee you they will get what this meant to them, and they're going to go on and do bigger and better things anyway. But as they come back and they're up there and they're a little older and they start to lose a little bit of their hair and it recedes a little bit and they're walking around with their kids and their wives and their families, they're going to feel like it's really special the way that I know it is, and how it's always been for me since I was a kid. So I'm almost in tears, and almost was. Of course, part of it was because I had to let Romeo go tonight for good. I mean, that is it. I don't think they're going to let me coach any more All-Star games unless we can make one up. And he's gone, so come Tuesday morning, I'm going to try to talk him into Monday coming to my camp. Probably have to pay him some money, but hopefully he'll come to my camp and speak to my kids one more time. But his time is so precious. He gets a lot of demands on his time, and I can't tell you how wonderful he and his family, his father Tim, have been in allowing him to go around in the community to speak at various places. And I can't even go into how many places. I don't know him to have ever said no. So it's always hard to let people like that go. But this was a special series. They're special kids. And I'm glad that I had an opportunity to coach Sean and Romeo for the last time to play for me. But I'm really, really proud to have gotten to coach 2 kids I didn't know very well, who could come home with me anytime and babysit my kids and hang out at my house because they're unbelievable kids.
Okay. Locker room will be open for about 10 more minutes.